watch motorsports, it's all about the image we see, but sometimes it's all about capturing that split second of action. It sure is an art and definitely a skill. Well, one guy who possesses that is UK-based Keith Sutton, who's the main man of the largest independent supplier of motorsports shots all over the world. And this is his story.
Well, I got into photography because of my father. He had a great passion of motorsport and a great passion of photography, but as an amateur. And he used to take me to the races from an early age, and I grew up with it. My father had been going to Alton Park since the circuit opened, and he asked the manager whether I could have a press pass. He said to me, I understand you want to be a motorsport photographer. I said, yes. He said, well, I'm sorry. You can't have a pass till you're 18. I said, oh dear. He said, how old are you? And I went, 17. And he said, how old are you? And I went, 18. So he gave me a pass, and that was it. As soon as I stood on the inside of Old Hall Corner at Alton Park, that was when I knew I wanted to be a motorsport photographer. My first break was back in 1981, after my first year as a motorsport photographer. I'd written to all the magazines around the world and offered my services, and out of about 20 letters I managed to get 10 replies. And one of those magazines was from Brazil, and they asked me to photograph Brazilian drivers racing in England. So I would go to the race circuit, get hold of the program and check out BR for Brazil. One particular driver I met up again at his second ever car race at Brands Hatch, and he came up to me in the paddock and said, why were you taking all those pictures of me at Thruxton? I said, because you know, I'm working for a Brazilian magazine. I have to send pictures of Brazilian drivers back to Brazil. Are you a professional photographer? He said to me. I said, yes. He said, well, I need a photographer. Would you be my photographer? I said, yeah, as long as you pay me. So I took pictures of that guy all weekend, and he actually won his first car race, and that was Ayrton Senna da Silva. So at the time I hadn't realised, you know, what a big star he was going to be. So that was a fantastic break, you know, to follow him through. And at the same time I was progressing in my career. We were the same age, and we both had this great ambition of getting to Formula One, which happened, which was fantastic. With photography changing from film to digital, I mean, that's had a huge effect as well, because we're not rushing back to England with all our films anymore on a Sunday night. We're actually doing the work at the track. So as soon as we've taken the pictures, you know, we're downloading them, editing them, and then sending them back. So that's changed a lot. So the hours we work are different, and it's all down to technology. The highlights are being able to travel around the world and go to some fantastic places, meet some great people, and you know, it's hard work, but it is a fantastic lifestyle. Damon Hill was another perfect example. I did the book with him in his final year, and travelled around with him in his private jet, helicopter, and went to his home in Dublin. You know, and that was a great opportunity for me to sort of see a different side of Damon and to get some unique pictures. The favourites are probably Senna spraying the champagne towards me when he won in Belgium, when I was shooting from the side of the podium, not the normal head-on shot, and I shouted at him, and he looked up at me. I was really close, and he came up and sprayed the champagne right into my lens. That's a fantastic shot. Another picture which I suppose meant a lot to me and had a big influence in my career. It was one of those key moments I was explaining to you before, was when Nigel Mansell's tyre exploded in Adelaide in 1986, and I was the only freelance photographer at the end of the straight, and I managed to get that picture and sell that worldwide. Ralph Schumacher, when he crashed in Montreal, I think his tyre exploded, and he went into the barrier, and the wheel shot over my head, and it was pretty spectacular. That's another favourite of mine. my favourite track is Monaco, without doubt, because of the access, and it's a street circuit, and the fantastic, everywhere you go there's a fantastic photograph. I've always said that, you know, as long as I'm still enjoying what I'm doing, and the business is doing well, and there's new opportunities, new circuits to go to, you know, I'll carry on photographing Formula One.
A picture says 1,000 words, and there's one man who's seen the sport from a perspective that we'll never really be privy to. Extremely talented man, Keith Sutton, and if you're a fan of motorsports and you read all the petrol head magazines, then chances are you've admired his work.
Well, I sure do admire his work.